G5 jet. I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back, eSIM Studios YouTube channel. We are live on this Wednesday afternoon, May 20th, 2026. Let me check my audio because it was pretty bad yesterday. I realized after the stream, I'll go back and watch maybe a minute or two of it just to make sure everything looks good. The audio, the video, and the audio sounded like trash. I didn't have my microphone. I didn't have the audio routed through my microphone. It was actually routed through my webcam. So let me make sure that it sounds decent today. Sounds good. All right, let's get started. So, how's everybody doing today? Are y'all doing all right? Let me make sure. Let me send this out to my social media accounts to let everybody know that I am live at the moment. And we'll get started. So, I got some interesting news. Well, yeah, we have very interesting news. Also have an update. I'm not going to be left out. So I made my decision on the Motorola Razr Fold. I am not going to be getting the Razr Fold. However, I'm not going to be left out of the Motorola movement here in the US. I just purchased another Motorola Signature. This time, better. I got the 16 gig 512 variant, black model. So I will be right with you. If you pre-ordered, I know I have a lot of viewers and subscribers that pre-ordered the Razr Fold. And the Razr Fold and the Signature are the only two devices that Motorola, only two flagship devices that Motorola is launching this year. And those two are the only devices that are getting monthly security patches and monthly software updates every month for 7 years. It's going to be very similar. So when a new update comes out, I'll be right there with y'all. It'll be essentially the same build. One will be for a foldable, one will be for the candy bar phone, but all of the features should be the same. If they introduce new features, I'll be right there with you to be able to review everything. So I'm going to get another signature. Well, I did get another signature. It should be here on Saturday. So as y'all get yours, they start shipping tomorrow, the Razr Folds, and you should get them Friday and Saturday. I'll be right there with you. I'm going to get one Saturday as well, Signature, but essentially runs the same software. So I'm very excited about that. Already got a case on Amazon. So, yeah, so happy that we're going to get that going. Now, I do have some big news, but before we get to the big news, I would like to let you know this YouTube channel, this live stream is sponsored by Leica Mobile. They have a number of very affordable plans that bring some big features along with those small prices. And just for two, as an example, one of the very affordable plans is 18 gigs per month of high-speed 5G data, 10 gigabytes of hotspot data, unlimited talk, unlimited text to over 100 countries around the world for only $7.50. That's correct. $7.50. It's pretty freaking affordable. If you want to go unlimited, they have an unlimited plan, unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited data for $18 per month. They also have a number of other plans. If you go in the link down below in the description, I got the Leica Mobile link down there for you. Also, this YouTube channel is sponsored by IMEI Certified and IMEIcertified.com. Get your IMEI certified clean. If you have a device that was reported lost or stolen, IMEI Certified will clean it for you. They will unbar it. They will reverse that blacklisting status as lost or stolen. They're going to reverse that, switch it back to clean and clear. They're the only company that does that. Even the carriers do not reverse blacklisting statuses. So if you've been sold a lost or stolen phone, unfortunately, it's happened to me before, or if you lose a phone, You call your carrier, say, hey, I lost it, or your insurance company, and then you end up finding it a month or two later. That's happened to me as well. The carriers and or insurance companies will not reverse that listing back to clean so you can use it again. It's going to be blocked forever. IMEI Certified has servers that are tied to the carriers. Their servers are tied to the manufacturers. Their servers are tied to the insurance companies and the GSMA database. And that is where they're going to reverse that blacklist status and have you back in clean and clear. IMEIcertified.com has got you covered. Link down below in the description. Okay, so got some, really didn't know what we were going to talk about today. I think I mentioned yesterday we were going to discuss the Google I/O. Good thing we got some other news out here, because man, what a sleeper. I mean, I was looking at it was like a 2-day event. I was looking at Google I/O stuff and I was like, man, this stuff is boring. I mean, there's just not much going on when it comes to that. But we have some very big news and confirmation. Now, it was considered before today rock solid rumors, but now it's essentially confirmed that the fourth S27 model is going to be it is confirmed. And before today, rolling into, I know the S26 models have just been out for a couple of months, and we're already starting to hear rumors and leaks in regards to the upcoming series. And they're big rumors, big leaks, big changes are on the horizon for the Samsung Galaxy S27 family. One of the more notable changes that we are going to see with the upcoming Samsung Galaxy flagships is that it's going to receive a design change. Now, that's not just the only big rumor that we had. We also got news Samsung was going to introduce a fourth device in that S27 lineup. So we're going to get an S27, an S27 Plus, an S27 Pro, brand new model, and then we're getting the S27 Ultra. It's really interesting to me that we got these leaks so early. Makes you wonder why we're getting these leaks. Now, we've known, and if you've been a viewer and or subscriber of this channel, you've known Samsung is going to make a design change with this upcoming S27 series. I've talked about it for 2 years. I've seen a roadmap of Samsung's a few years ago that said the upcoming S27 series was going to receive a design change. And I'm not talking just a design change where they put a camera island around the sensors. No. Because that's basically the same phone. They just make it look a tiny bit different. This one's getting a complete overhaul. They're going back to do you remember what the S10 looked like? And I think it was called, they didn't have the Ultras. I think it was called the S10 Plus and the S10, where it had the camera island going across the top of the back horizontally. Kind of pixel-esque, sort of like, but you know what the S10 looked like. Well, they're going back to that essentially and going to put the camera bar up top. They're reducing the 4 cameras down to 3 cameras, and that should be across the family. But the news that we got today is that the S27 Pro is essentially certified. It's essentially rock solid evidence that there will be a quote-unquote Pro model. Now, before today, we got word that the Pro model was essentially going to be a S27 Ultra minus the S Pen. Kind of self-explanatory, right? Where, okay, so you're going to have Ultra specs, just no S Pen. In fact, I heard little rumblings, little rumors that it would actually be better than the S27 Ultra, because with the S27 Ultra, Samsung essentially out of the build of materials, out of the cost, out of all the components it takes to construct that S20, I guess, 7 Ultra. Well, $30 of that goes to the S Pen, the S Pen certification, the S Pen silo, the actual materials for that S Pen. Well, I heard that they were going to, that Samsung was going to take that $30 savings for not having an S Pen, but put that back into the S27 Pro into some other components to upgrade its components. Well, got some really interesting news because this kind of came out of left field. When you think of an S27 Ultra minus the S Pen, you think of a nice big phone, obviously with with no S Pen, right? Well, today we got word that it's going to be a small phone. That's right. So all you small phone lovers out there can rejoice. It's going to be a 6.47-inch display. So they're essentially taking the Apple route, and we'll get to that in a minute with the iPhone 17 Pro. We're going to get to that in a minute, but this is kind of a shocker because I was expecting a bigger phone. In fact, I was expecting myself to get the S27 Pro instead of the Ultra. Even though I am an S Pen user, I thought, you know what, if this should be just as good as the S27 Ultra, potentially even better, well, why not get that one? Plus, it's a brand new model. Everybody's going to be asking about it. Everybody's going to be searching online for it. So why not get that one, right? Well, I'm not a small phone user, so it essentially crosses that off of my list. Looks like I'm going to be back stuck to the Ultra again, which is fine with me. But I know a lot of people out here, and maybe you're one of them, are happy in regards to this news. I know, and look, it differs between person. If you prefer a small phone or if you prefer a big phone, I can make a case and say that the S27 Ultra is almost too big. Like, when I am holding it, using it with one hand, kind of have to fumble it around, kind of have to juggle it in your hands to kind of position it just right to make a selection with your thumb, right? I think the perfect size is like a Motorola Signature or a 6.7-inch display like the S26 Plus, right? The Plus model, I think, in my opinion, is a perfect size. The S26 Ultra is a 6.9-inch display. The S27 Ultra is going to be a 6.9-inch display. The iPhone 17 Pro Max, 6.9-inch display. So you can see where the S27 Pro fits in with that family, because as we know right now, there will still be a Plus model. So you're still going to get a S27 Plus, which is going to be at 6.7 inches. So let's go through the lineup. You're going to have an S27. That's going to be screen size. That's going to be, I think, 6.28 inches. So essentially 6.2, 6.3. You're going to have an S27 Pro, which is a 6.47-inch display, essentially a 6.5, right? It's just a hair under 6.5. In the S27, it's just a hair under 6.3. So let's just round it out. So you're getting a S27 at 6.3 inches. You're getting an S27 Pro at 6.5 inches. You're getting an S27 Plus at 6.7 inches. And you're getting an S27 Ultra at 6.9 inches. So you see the three, you see the 3, 5, 7, and 9 hitting all those odd numbers there. You have something for everybody in the lineup. Now let's get to copying Apple, because as you know, Samsung loves to copy Apple. They love to copy Apple, from tablets to earbuds to not necessarily watches, because they don't have that rectangle style watch face, but it is quite interesting how they choose to have a model that competes directly with the iPhone 17 Pro. Now, as you know, I guess when the S27 Pro comes out, there's going to be the iPhone 18 Pro, but Apple's going to keep the same design language, the same schematics, the same model layout that they've had in the past. But remember, it's going to be a staggered release. So in September, when you think, oh, the new iPhone 18s are coming out, it's just going to be the iPhone 18 Pro, iPhone 18 Pro Max, and the new iPhone Ultra, the foldable. Well, come January, when the announcement and launch of the S27 series is available, you're going to have you're going to have a Samsung Galaxy S27 Pro that's roughly going to be the same size as this. And then you're going to have a S27 Ultra that's going to be the same size as the iPhone 18 Pro Max. So, I mean, look, Samsung is Apple's, I guess, number one competitor, at least when it comes to sales. So I'm not going to look. Normally I would rag on them. I would make fun of them because it seems like they copy everything else Samsung does. Even, I mean, the earbuds, I mean, that was pretty apparent. But I get it this time. I see why they're doing it. They're trying to line up, look for the people that want it's not necessarily a small phone, because I think at 6 point, what is it? 6 point, how big is the iPhone 17 Pro? It's 6.3, right? So actually it'll be slightly larger than the iPhone 18 Pro. Because if it's going to be at 6.5 inches, technically 6.47, that's all. Okay, I'll put it this way. That's on the medium size. So it'll be just a hair bigger than its competitor for the 18 Pro. The 18 Pro Max and the S27 Ultra, they'll line up perfectly size-wise. But Samsung wants a smaller sized with Pro specs. Now, what Pro specs are we talking about? If you look at the lineup next year and you have an S27 and an S27 Pro, well, with the base model, with the Samsung base models, you're essentially getting you have the flagship processors there, right? But I want to say memory options will be upgraded. You'll have more memory options upgradable. The display should be a 2K display. Typically with the base model with Samsung, like the S26, S25, you get a 1080p plus display. So with this smaller model, you're going to get probably the same, because remember, it's going to have the same specs or similar specs, if not better, but I think at the very least the same specs as the Ultra. It's just going to be in a smaller size. So you're going to get all the memory options. You're going to get a 2K display. I do anticipate, do you think they're going to put the privacy display 2.0? Do you think they're going to put that on the Pro, on the smaller one, or you think they're just going to keep that for the Ultra? Because I can make a case for either one. Now, I wish they didn't put it on there because I don't ever use mine. In fact, I think it degraded the display, and there's plenty of people out there that feel the same way. I would almost think they will put that on there, but they might just keep it an ultra exclusive. But this should be interesting. Now with this Pro model, remember, on the S27 and S27 Plus, so like their base models, I don't believe you're going to see, because Qualcomm, the CPU, Snapdragon is putting out two different versions of their Qualcomm Snapdragon chipsets. Samsung is trying to transition over to their Exynos CPUs. So what I can see Samsung doing is doing a split release with their chipsets. I think with the S27 and S27 Plus, they're going to put Samsung Exynos CPUs in there, the base models. And I think with the Pro and the Ultra, I think they're going to use probably the better or the best chipset in there. Now, that's going to include UFS, all new UFS 5.0 storage. So you'll see the smaller version, the Pro, have UFS 5.0 storage. You'll also see it come equipped with LPDDR6 RAM. So it'll have all new UFS storage, all new RAM. So I think it should be a pretty freaking good device. So I know there's a lot of people out there that are probably rejoicing right now. It would be a nice phone to be completely honest with you. It'd be nice, and I know a lot of people are probably not going to have it as a second phone, but it would play nice as a second phone, right? If it's like somebody like me that I don't really use it that much, but every now and then I'll carry it with me to go shoot stuff, content. But having a small phone is nice for a second phone. It sucks when you carry two phones around and they're both enormous devices and you have two big bricks in your pocket, you know? It's kind of annoying. I want to know, let me know what you think in regards to this small device. I want to get your comments. Give me 1 second. All right, let me get to some comments here. What's going on, Bradley? Appreciate you joining us today. Daniel, you too as well. Thank you very much, sir. You said, wait, Michael says, wait, I'm confused. There's going to be an Ultra and a Pro? Is there going to be a Plus? Yes. So we got news. I've been on this that's what I was saying at the beginning. It's weird that we got this much information leaked this early. Typically it's at least 6 months into the device being launched. We got this news, I mean, not the size of it, but we got news there was going to be a Pro model. Last month I did a couple of videos in regards to a Pro model that Samsung is going to release. So yeah, there's going to be, and remember, last month we heard there was going to be a Pro model, and that Pro model was going to be an ultra spec, just no S Pen, right? But now today we hear it's going to be a smaller device. So you're going to have an S27, S27 Pro, S27 Plus, and S27 Ultra. So yes, you're going to get 4 models this year. I think damn it. Maybe not. Never mind. That would not have made sense, but good thing I didn't say it. You're waiting for 2 phones, the OnePlus 16 and the S27 Ultra. Those will be 2 good phones. Now, you're not in the US, right? Because remember, the OnePlus 16 is just going to be launched in China. You can get one if you really, really want one. I'm sure they'll sell it on GizTop, right? But the band selection, whatever carrier you have, once we get closer to that launch date later in the year, we'll obviously review everything and review the bands it has in it. But I would not recommend you purchase it if you're in the United States, because probably won't work. Maybe not. But we'll get to that point here in just a minute. Hang on 1 second. I go live and my phone blows up. You see what I'm saying? It happens to me every single day. Give me a second. Hey, will y'all give me a second? Hold on just a second. Sorry about that. I do apologize. You wanted a big display? I did too, or at least I thought it was going to be. At least I thought it was going to be a big display. Um, well, I guess that eliminates me from getting it. Not that I'm against small phones, but I prefer at least a 6.6. Again, 6.7 I think is perfect, but a 6.47 or 6.5, I could see myself using it as a second phone, but probably just end up getting the Ultra again. I don't know. We should have made an S27e and make it super small, like 5.9. Oh yeah, like the S10e. Yeah, I forgot about that. And they had that cool red color. It was like a coral red. Do you remember that? That was a nice phone. We had one of those in the house. I like that phone. It was nice and small. You're selling your really? Nothing Phone 3 is a daily driver. No kidding. Wow. Prefer big phones. I don't know. I think, and that's the thing. The S27 Ultra is like, or the Ultra S26 Ultra, 25 Ultra. It's right on the cusp of being too big. Like anything bigger, and I don't think I would buy it. I think 6.9 is again, you got to kind of juggle it in your hand to make selections on the screen, or at least I do. I mean, I don't think I have small hands, but it's a pretty big phone. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty freaking big. Yeah, 6.7, 6.8, like with the OnePlus 15. It's right about perfect size. And I think 6.9 is right almost too big. I use two phones, so back when you could get small phones, optimally, I would have one big and one small. Yeah, that's perfect. If you got to carry two phones, you're gonna want one big one as your main one, and then like a smaller one. It's easier to carry around. You throw it in your pocket. Just easier to handle, honestly. Um, Sounds like the Pro's replacing the Edge effectively. Yeah, I think we got crossed off the Edge when, because remember they were planning on bringing back the Edge this year, and I'm kind of surprised to see them drop it so fast. It was like a one-off thing. I would like to see them, although, see, here's the thing. I actually like the Plus model too. Like the S25 Plus, S26 Plus. They're really good phones. And especially now, I think with the S20, what was it? The S24 Plus is when they started putting 12 gigs of RAM in there. That's key. I would like to see them have an Edge this year. I think the S25 Edge is a fantastic device. Just small, lightweight, very easy to hold, handle. I wish they did, but it doesn't look like they are. Apple's going to continue it, even though when the Apple iPhone Air first launched, you heard the sales were really good, but then as time went on, we kind of figured out really not that good of sales. But Apple's going to bring another Air 2, and they're gonna introduce that not on this upcoming September with the Pro and the Ultra launch, but they're going to do it in, I think, March of next year. They're going to that staggered release. So you're going to get in September, you're going to have the 18 Pro, 18 Pro Max, and iPhone Ultra. They're foldable. And then I think in March or somewhere right around there, you're getting the iPhone 18. You're getting the iPhone Air 2. And I think they're dropping the Plus model. I think. I'm not entirely sure on that. I'll have to double check. But I would like to see them enter. I would like Samsung to bring forward the Edge again, reintroduce that. I think they totally screwed up that launch. I think if they launched the Edge along with the entire S25 family, I think it would have sold better, because people that were interested in getting that device just got whatever was available for the S25 family. Because remember, they launched the S25 series, and then 2 months later, they introduced the Edge. Well, the people that had an upgrade available, the people that wanted to get one, they already got S25 Plus or S25 Ultra, and they kind of, I think they fumbled the launch of the Edge series. I think if they launch them with all the other devices, people will order it, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. They did not sell well, so did they? And they made it orange, released the same time as Apple. Did they release an orange one? Maybe they did. I'm not a wearable person, so I just don't remember that. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I don't really pay attention to the watch stuff. Yes. In fact, that was last year. And that's what I'm talking about. They copy Apple. They copy everything Apple does. And that's when the CEO made that apology. That was last year. That's when the Buds 3 came out, right around that time, because the Buds 3 looks so much like the AirPods. The case, the Bud. I mean, you know, it didn't look exactly like it, but that's when they introduced the stem. Because remember, the Galaxy Buds were just an actual bud. It didn't have a stem. It made me wonder, what the hell are these people, are they thinking? They have different divisions, right? We're talking about the head of Samsung, like the head boss who oversees all the other departments. Yeah, he came out and made a statement saying, "Oh, apologize, we're not innovative enough." Is the person that's in charge of their mobile department, the head of their mobile division, are they not getting okays or passing stuff through the head of Samsung to get okays on these devices? I mean, apparently not, because they released them, and then that's when the statement from the head of entire Samsung came out and said, "Apologize, or not innovative enough." So it makes me wonder. I guess Samsung mobile division just launches stuff, and then the head of entire Samsung was like, "What the hell?" So I'm like, you would think they would get approval with everything that they launch, but I guess not. I don't know. Samsung had orange first. Teehee. Not on watch though. So what did they have? Orange. Oh, Galaxy Gear. If Samsung brings back S23, S24 Ultra camera quality, just improved colors, they can beat Apple, especially if they start using silicon carbon batteries. They will, from what I understand. They're going to introduce that in this S27 series, or their version of silicon carbon. Now, I only anticipate it being in the Pro and the Ultra models, quite frankly. And you're getting new camera hardware. Remember, you're getting all new sensors next year. So you should have much improved camera quality. I don't know about the base S27 and S27 Plus. You might stick with the old camera hardware. But with the Pro and the Ultra, you're getting all new sensors. So fingers crossed, hopefully the quality will be better. Michael C2 says, "I'm just frustrated that they removed the SD card all those years ago, especially with SSD pricing going up. I really think SD cards should come back. Yeah, look, I do too, but it's never going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Like, same thing with the 3.5 millimeter jack. Those days are long gone. It's just with waterproofing, they need that space where the SD card goes in the side of the phone that takes up, you know, a good amount of square centimeters that they need. As much as I want them back as well, it's just not going to happen. Like, those days are long gone, and I've you know, just accepted it and moved on, I guess. You can always get external. Do I have it here? You can always get external storage devices like these. This is a Google F2A or 2FA key, Google Titan security chip. You know, they make Type C external storage devices like this that you can just plug in your phone. You know, you have to resort to that, but SD cards, the slots are not coming back, unfortunately. Samsung dropped the S27 Ultra price. Really? They did today. It's on special, 300 off, no trade-in, I believe. Personally, I would not have one. Yeah, I know a lot. That's the thing. A lot of people skipped. You know, that might have been the reason that Samsung, all this information is leaking out early. That might be exactly why, Bradley, because people that did not upgrade to the S26 series or S26 Ultra, you know, all this information about the upcoming series came out like a month, maybe 2 months after the launch of the S26 series, which tells me Samsung's telling users, look, if you didn't upgrade this year, if you're still holding on to your S25 series or potentially S24 series, we got something big cooking up in the oven right now, and we're gonna bring something all new hardware, all new design the following year. So I think they kind of put this info out to and let's be honest, the leaks come out for a reason. So if you put the pieces together, put the puzzle together, I think that's why, because they want people to know or to hang on, say, okay, well, if I didn't upgrade this year, I'm definitely going to get one next year. Because they don't want you going to Apple. They don't want you going to Google. They don't want you going to Motorola. They want you sticking in that Samsung family. So they don't want you going anywhere else if you didn't upgrade. So I think that's why they put this information out pretty quick after the launch. You know. Let's see here. The problem with the microSD bottleneck. Yeah, maybe. More internal storage. Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I'd rather. Yeah, like I said, I'm kind of over the SD card thing, especially now with the internal storage. And a good flagship phone can move that memory pretty quick. And I use these a lot. Not this because it's a, you know, security feature, but I just don't know where mine are. If you got to transfer files, just grab one of these. They're, well, I'll say they're cheap, but you can find one at a decent price. Yeah, and again, though, flagship phones from current day to a couple years ago, they'll last a decent amount of time, right? They definitely will. What's going on? You got, holy crap. That's pretty freaking good. I'm glad you didn't get hit with that battery bug. That's a bad one. Oh no, you're good. No worries. You will. It'll be a good phone. I'll tell you that. It looks like it's going to be a nice phone. I believe so. They're asking, can an Oppo Find X9 Ultra be used in the US in the future? Right now, yes. The answer is yes. Now, obviously, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but as of now, yes. And I think you will be able to. So I was watching the Trump trip to China very closely to kind of see what happens. They got a lot of business deals done, it looks like. So as of right now, yeah, it looks like it will definitely work. It definitely is. You would love our bright red S27 Ultra with 6,000 plus milliamp hour battery. It will be interesting to see what the colors are. Those leaks that we have all seen, they have a maroon red and a nice sky blue looking color. Looks pretty cool. I do like those colors. I would like to see them switch up colors this year or this upcoming year. Man, the colors have been kind of boring, kind of bland these last couple of years, quite honestly, or at least for the S25 series and S26 series. So I would like to see them bring something to the table as far as color wise, something different. Just really wasn't impressed. Yeah. This year I was like, I have no idea what color I want. Normally when they come out, I see one, I'm like, boom, that's it. It's been that way for years. And with the S25 Ultra, I was kind of hesitant. I don't really know, especially with this S26 series. I had no clue what I was going to get. Even right before I hit that buy button, I was like, I guess. I don't know. I don't like any of them, you know? That was cool with the Motorola mods. Yeah. Man, that Z, what was it? The Motorola Z and then Z2 and Z3. Those were thin as hell. Yeah. See, perfect example. I would love to see them bring that back with a nice silicon carbon battery. Hello. That's what I was thinking. I mean, I guess it's kind of hard to believe that the head of Samsung, like the entire company, but you're right. Now that I think about it, you're probably right. Like, it's such a big company. He just looks at the numbers, right? He doesn't tell them what to do or do this or do that. He just looks at the spreadsheet and goes from there. So yeah. You prefer compact Pro version like Apple and Google do. Samsung makes a 6.7 Pro version. They will be killing the Ultra. That happened when Samsung had the Ultra and Note available. Yeah, that's an interesting take. And I'm assuming that's why they are going to make a small Pro model. Apple does it that way. A lot of companies do it that way. I think all companies do it that way. Google, Apple, who else? OnePlus. They just don't sell them here, right? With the OnePlus 15T or 15S, the small flagship. So yeah, I guess you're right. So I guess I should not be surprised by this news today. It's just, I guess I got misled myself when you hear it's going to be like the Ultra, just no S Pen. So I automatically think Ultra, no S Pen. So I should have known better. Do you think the S27 Ultra is going to be better than Oppo Find X9 Ultra? And what do you think about the Oppo X10 Ultra specs for next year? The S27 Ultra will be better than the Oppo Find X9 Ultra because the X9 Ultra has UFS 4.1 storage. The Oppo Find X9 Ultra has LPDDR5X RAM. Remember, the S27 Ultra is getting UFS 5.0 storage. It's getting LPDDR6 RAM. Now, we don't know if they're going to put a 10-bit display in there. I'm assuming they are, but the way things are going, I don't know. But will it take better pictures? I have no clue. Yet to see, right? Because we are supposed to be getting brand new sensors, but again, knowing Samsung, who knows? Now, it'll beat the X9 Ultra on a few lines of a spec sheet. It will, right? Just because it's newer, has better processor. But I guarantee you, when the Oppo X10 Ultra comes out, that's going to be better, probably on every line on the spreadsheet, just the way Oppo's going. But remember from my video yesterday, these companies might take a few years off of the flagships. The memory costs are getting so high. It's costing these companies so much money to produce a flagship that they can't make a profit on them. So is there going to be an X10 Ultra? I don't know. I've seen leaks for the X10 Pro from Oppo, and it looks like they're going to launch that. But for the X10 Ultra, I don't know, because remember, they're on a staggered launch release time as well. They don't launch them at the same time. The Ultra comes out after the Pro for Oppo. So we'll just have to wait and see. But if the way things are going, since logical thinking would be that the X10 Ultra would be better than the S27 Ultra, but who knows at this point? Just don't know where Samsung's going to go with this. Status update on the Motorola Pixel trade-in. Not yet. Haven't done anything yet. So I know I only got a couple days left. So I don't know. I don't know if I can do a foldable. I have never purchased one before, and it just never appealed to me, to be honest with you. They look cool, and I'm sure it's going to be a badass phone. I just never wanted to fold. Like, I think when the Fold 6 came out, I kind of wanted one, and then my wife and I went to Best Buy to look at them, and I was impressed, but I just haven't found one that I like. I don't know. I just because again, I don't think I would use the inside display that often, right? And the crease kind of bothers me. Now, a flip is a different story. A flip is a fun phone to have. You can compact size. You know, I've owned every flip Samsung has made, but I just can't get. I don't know. It's just people are different, right? I'm sure some people love them. I just don't love them as much. They're expensive as hell too. They're like $2,000. Like, I have a hard time buying something that I'm not like all in on. You see what I'm saying? Like that's a hard sell for me. So I don't know. Right now, nothing, but I'll definitely let you know here if I change my mind. Yeah, I don't think so. That's their highest selling product, and it dwarfs everything else that they sell. So no shit. Wow. So they're starting already. Congratulations to you. See, that's what I'm saying. It's a badass phone. I'm not dogging it. It's not the phone, right? When you break up with somebody, you're like, it's not you, it's me. It's not Motorola. It's not the Razr Fold. It's me. Like, it's the best foldable outside of the Oppo Find N6, but we get that. We're talking in the US. It's the best foldable you can buy, hands down. It's not even close. It's not even close. So it's not the phone, it's me. It's just a personal preference, you know. But if you love them, I love it for you, man. That's good news. Good news. You think so? Yeah, I know. The OnePlus 15, the display looks better than the S26 Ultra. I know. And that has a BOE display, not even a Samsung display. Pixel displays look pretty freaking good. Really good, in fact. So, I know. It's a weird 2K? Yeah, it has 2K. It sure does. It sure does. And the 15's got 1.5. Now, I think they're going to go back to 2K for the 16, OnePlus 16. You do not care for folds yourself either? Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I don't know. And the crease bothers me more on a foldable than it does a flip. Now, it's technically bigger, right? Because the phone is bigger. The hinge is bigger on the fold compared to a flip. But I don't know. When I was in Best Buy checking out the Fold 6 and then the Fold 7, I didn't walk away feeling like I had to get one. You know, like you have on some other phones. I was just like, eh. And I hate spending a lot of money on something. I'm just like, eh, you know. But if you like it, man, it's a badass phone. I'm certainly not dogging the phone. They are better. They are. I would still choose. We'll have to wait and see, but I could almost guarantee you, if Chinese phones, if they're still gonna make foldables at least for one more year before they take a break. Probably a good guess that the Chinese flagships are going to be better than what we have here, right? Why would anything change that? It's been that way for a few years now. Why would that change now? So I'm sure that's still going to be the case. Really? Interesting. Yeah, we got a new Samsung TV in our living room as well. It's all right. Well, yeah, it's all right. I mean, I've seen some that blow you away, and this one I was like, yeah. But we needed a new TV. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, kind of like what they did with the with the OnePlus 15, where they had to bump it down in resolution to activate that higher refresh rate. Might still be the case, although BOE, their display maker, might come up with some new technology where they don't have to reduce the resolution to keep that high refresh rate. We'll have to wait and see, but regardless, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Window reflections. Yeah, I hate that. I absolutely hate those reflections. Mini LED is where it's at. That's where it's at. Yeah, be careful, because I think that's in the beta program. You know what? Were they sold out, or they just don't sell them? Because depending on what carrier you have or your mom has, I think the only carrier that worked when I had mine was T-Mobile. Because I tried Cricket, I tried Verizon, they didn't work. But you might be able to find them on eBay or maybe Swappa. I bet there might be some. But those are good cheap phones inexpensive phones to use for sure. And I think there's still 3 or 4 years of updates left. LG has anti-reflective panels. You're talking about on their TVs. I go like this because I have one on the wall right here. Anti-glare. Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. It's going to be interesting. I know it's going to be very, very interesting. So, well, I appreciate the time. Thank you very much. It is getting late, a little late here. We'll do a giveaway, I think, tomorrow. How about that? So stick around tomorrow. Giveaway live stream tomorrow. Everybody have an enjoyable but safe afternoon and evening. And we'll see you around tomorrow. Giveaway tomorrow. Wait, is tomorrow Friday or Thursday? Tomorrow's Thursday. That's cool. We'll still do it tomorrow anyways. So I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate it. Thank you. Peace.
Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, on my way to a brand new